Right, we're good to go on a prelim for Q12 2019, number 4. I don't want to take a photograph.
Right, so first 12 to get through, and there's 13 people, so all this effort just so there's one person.
Is this one question you're through? Is that
No, 6 points to get through. Normal rules: 2 points for a correct answer, 1 away for incorrect interruption.
Are these written by you then?
Written by me, yeah. In the prelim, most of them are quick fire, but not all. Right, number 1. In 1982, which company released the classic 8-bit 48K computer, the ZX Spectrum? That's Ashton.
I don't know.
Chris?
Sinclair.
Sinclair, yeah.
Correct.
So is this a
Do I lose then?
No,
that's
question
the
will
end
go
of the
over.
question.
But it is what if I had negative, what would I get?
Mine's 1.
Nice one, yeah.
Yeah, you can go into negative on this round.
reset?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Number 2. The mob boss, Joseph Massino, Mafia hitman Abe Kid Twist Reyes, the Wild West cowboy Arkansas Dave Rudabar, the Manson family member Linda Kasabian, and Scottish serial killer and one half of the Body Snatchers William Hare, all did what to avoid receiving... Jack?
Getaway drivers.
That is -1.
Wrong.
Simon?
Turn King's evidence.
Yeah, turn King,
Evidence.
States, Queen's evidence,
Yeah.
all that stuff. 2 points for Simon.
Correct.
In the early 1650s, Oliver Cromwell instructed Sir Peter Lely to paint him in what manner? Ashton? Warts and all, yeah.
Correct.
In 2011, Ellen Nicky, for the song Running Scared, became the only winners of... Jack? Azerbaijan, yeah.
Good.
Correct.
A prequel to Baroness Archie Scarlet Pimpernel shares its name with this painting, which is currently found in the Wallace collection. It got its current name during the Victorian period, but despite its name, it actually features a person who's identity. Amit?
Laughing Cavalier?
Laughing Cavalier, yeah.
Can't have been far behind.
Correct.
7/10 behind.
Is that as much as that?
Arachnids are a class of animals which are found in which animal phylum? Steve Kidd?
Invertebrate.
No. Nothing away. Simon?
Spiders.
No. Gavin?
Arthropods.
Arthropod. Yeah.
Sorry.
Correct.
Australia won both their Rugby Union World Cups in which decade? Andrew?
90s.
1990s, yep.
Correct.
Who was the president of the USA when John Lennon died? Steve Kidd?
Ronald Reagan.
That's incorrect. Nothing away. Ashton?
You can't.
Jimmy Carter. Yep. Just.
Correct.
That's Ashton up to 4. In the song 12 Days of Christmas, what is the only gift which isn't alive? Chris Curtis?
5 gold rings.
5 gold rings. Yep. It's Chris up to 4.
Correct.
Brian Littrell, Howie Dorrow, AJ McLean, Kevin Richardson. Andrew?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, yep. Andrew's up to 4.
Correct.
The novel Starlight Barking by Dodie Smith is Chris Curtis.
101
A
Dalmatians.
sequel to 101 Dalmatians, and that puts Chris through.
Correct.
So 11 spaces to go.
Yeah, stay there, man.
The Walk of Joy.
Which DC comic superhero is sometimes known as the Scarlet Speedster? Steve Kidd? Nothing away. Steve Lacey?
Flash.
The Flash, yep.
Correct.
The various titles of which series of books reference a device for picking the participants in a prestigious tournament, a person incarcerated in a maximum security prison. Simon?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yep. Simon's up to
Correct.
4. Copenhagen, the capital city of Denmark, can be found on the islands of Amager and which other island? Andrew?
Zealand.
Zealand, yeah. That puts Andrew through.
Correct.
10 spaces left.
If you want. Go on.
Okay, which American state is nicknamed the Tar Heel State? Steve Kidd?
Carolina. North.
North Carolina, yes.
Correct.
In which part of the body would you find the navicular bone? Steve Kidd?
Shoulder.
Incorrect, nothing away. Brendan?
Foot.
foot. Yep.
Such a
Correct.
this question.
Between 1977 and 1988, Gloria Estefan was the lead singer of which band? Ashton. Miami Sound Machine. That puts Ashton through.
Correct.
9 spaces left. Everyone back in place. Independently of Joseph Priestley and Antoine Lavoisier, who discovered it at a similar time, which Swedish scientist discovered oxygen in 1773? Steve Kidd.
Bob?
Question over. No, not him. No. Jack.
Arrhenius?
No. Scott.
Brazilians.
No. Amit. Who's next? Simon.
Lindstrom.
No. Gavin.
Armstrong.
No.
That's what I was thinking.
Nobody. That's Carl Wilhelm Scheele.
Not going to
Before 1969, the football team Swansea City were known by what other name? Simon.
Swansea Town.
Swansea Town. Yeah.
That was a question in the quiz last night.
That put Simon through.
Correct.
8 spaces to go. One of the ancient wonders of the world. What purpose did the Pharos of Alexandria serve? Brendan.
Lighthouse.
A lighthouse. Yep. Brendan's up to 4.
Correct.
Taking its name from the line in the Walter Scott poem The Lady of the Lake and set to music by James Sanderson, it is currently used by Donald Trump. What name is given to the official anthem of the President of the USA? Cal?
Hail to the chief.
Hail to the Chief. Yep.
Correct.
Lucy Snow is the main protagonist of which novel by Charlotte Bronte? It was the 3rd and penultimate novel to be published. Brendan? Villette. Yep, that puts Brendan through.
You want to know as
Correct.
well, and then Caroline can take it.
Full name required. The son of Apollo. What is the name of the character played by Michael B. Jordan in the 2015 spin-off from the Rocky franchise? Amit?
Creed.
Full name.
Ha!
Nothing away, but it's a question on
Michael Creed.
No. Scott?
Apollo Creed.
No. Vince?
Jack Creed.
No. Steve? Kid?
Shanana Quick.
No. Carl?
Concrete.
No. No. No, he was Adonis Creed. In Gustav Holst's The Planets, which planet is described as the bringer of old age? Steve Kidd?
Saturn.
Saturn is correct. Steve Kidd up to 4.
Correct.
Often considered to be one of Britain's finest political interviewers, which former Labour politician presented The Weekend World from 1974? So Steve Lacey? Brian Walden, yep.
Correct.
Involving jumping into the air over your opponent and landing on their head and chest with one of your lower limbs. Jack? No.
Oh no!
That's minus 1.
person that's going to get this.
Wrong.
What move did Hulk Hogan use to win 5 of his 6 WWE titles? Scott?
Boston Crab.
No. Carl?
Slam.
No. Steve Lacey?
Man spreading.
In a way. Vince?
Dunk.
No. That was a leg drop. Simple as that. Who was the only monarch of England from the House of Blois? Steve Kidd?
You said it.
What kid?
Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Steve's through now.
Yeah,
Correct.
Steve's through, yeah. How many? Yeah, only one to go out. I think there's 6 spaces left, is there? What kind of mythical creature did Daryl Hannah play in the 1984 romance? Cal?
Mermaid.
A mermaid, yeah. Cal's up to 4.
Correct.
Which motorway service station stands at the intersection of the A1 and the M62?
Yay!
Gavin?
Scott's Corner.
Nope, nothing away. Scott?
Tip shelf.
No. No, nobody. Ferry Bridge. Given to her in 1944, what was the name of the first Pembrokeshire corgi owned by the present Queen? Damn it.
Lucy.
Nope, nothing away. Vince?
Susan.
Susan, yeah.
It was asked on Thursday night.
It was,
Which song in 2003 became Beyonce's first UK #1 single? Jack?
Crazy in Love.
Crazy in Love, yeah.
Correct.
The oldest working host in the park, Dolores Abernathy, is played by which person in the TV series Westworld? Amit?
Rachel Evan Wood.
Yep. So, Amit's up to 4.
Correct.
Which specific things that humans can have up to 4 of sees nearly 100% of indigenous Mexicans have all 4, but nearly all Aboriginal Tasmanians having none? They can cause great pain when they appear. It's Gavin?
Wisdom teeth.
Wisdom teeth, yep. Gavin's up to 4.
Correct.
In 2018, which player won the longest ever semi-final in Wimbledon history when they beat John Eisner 26-24 in the final set? Jack? No, nothing away. Scott?
Anderson.
Anderson, yeah.
The other one.
Correct.
Kevin Anderson. What name is given to a change in direction of a wave due to a change in the transmission medium? Gavin?
Reflection.
Refraction, yeah. Puts Gavin through.
Correct.
A name inspired by another popular dish. What name is given to the teesside staple the Parmo if garlic butter?
Oh,
Is that Amit?
I was going to say Palm.
Yeah, that's one away.
Wrong.
Is what if garlic butter is spread on the chicken? Nobody? No. Vince?
Palmer Kiev.
Parmo Kiev is correct.
That was dragged out of the pass.
What category of questions was discontinued on Eggheads in 2008 when it was split into 2 different categories? Amit?
Entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah. So Amit with the 5.
Correct.
Ravi Shankar was a noted player. Amit?
Sitar.
Sitar, yeah. So Amit through.
Correct.
4 spaces left.
Screws.
So we have Carl on 4, Jack on 2, Scott on 2, Steve on 4, and Vince on 4. Who played the lead character, Major John Dodge, in the 1988 film The Great Escape 2? He is best known for playing a superhero in 4 films made between 1978 and 87. Scott?
Reeves.
Yeah, Christopher Reeve, yep.
Correct.
Who in 2010 became the first Australian player since Horace Lindrum in 1952 to become World Snooker Champion? Scott?
Robertson.
Robertson, yeah, that puts Scott through.
Correct.
3 spaces to go. On the 25th of December 1643, Captain William Miners gave what name to an island found in the Indian Ocean, which is now an Australian external territory and has Flying Fish Cove as its capital? Jack?
Christmas Island.
Christmas Island, yeah. Everyone's on 4 points.
Correct.
Banned from being used against fellow Christians in 1193 by Pope Innocent II, what ranged weapon fires quarrels? Carl?
Crossbow.
A crossbow. Yeah, that puts Carl through.
Correct.
2 spots left. The flag of which country appears in the top left-hand corner of the flag of Hawaii and the national flags? It's Jack.
United Kingdom.
Yeah, United Kingdom. That's Jack through.
Correct.
1 question shootout. A 1772 painting by George Stubbs called Portrait of a Large Dog depicts what kind of wild dog native to Australia? Steve Lacey?
Dingo.
Dingo is correct. So, great, Vince.
Q12, round 1 proper of number 4, 2019, in charge. Already qualified along with Dave Hess. Let's go. Shut up, Steve.
Okay, question 1. The River Severn is the longest river which is in both Wales and England. Amit?
Thames.
Incorrect. Nothing to it. Scott?
Towie.
I haven't finished the question yet, but nope. Chris Curtis?
Ask.
No. Ashton?
Trent.
No. Simon?
Chiefy.
No.
Can I have a reset for me, please? Don't. If you've pressed already, please don't reset. I've never on. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
good to go. Which river, the 5th longest in the UK, is the 2nd largest to have parts in both countries? Carl?
D.
Nope. Steve Kidd?
I can't remember what the first part was. The why.
The what? What? That's the question. I need the answer.
Why?
Because it is.
Spot on.
So, this company is ultimately owned by Volkswagen, although it owns them through their... Chris Curtis?
Bugatti.
That is incorrect. Amit?
Skoda.
Incorrect. Ashton?
Alpha Romeo.
That's incorrect. Carl?
Seat.
That's incorrect. Got a long way to go. It ultimately owns them through their Audi and Lamborghini subsidiaries. They are based in Bologna and were founded... Simon?
Maserati.
That's incorrect. I don't know that's where I was. They were based in Bologna and were founded in 1926 by an Italian family whose surname gives the company its name. Scott?
Fit.
Nope. I've something finished. Steve Lacey? No. Gavin?
Whoa.
No. Known for using the V-twin engine and the Desdemonic valve system, they currently produce the Monster, the Diaval and Multistrada models. What is this motorcycle production company, which in 2007 became the only non-Japanese company since 1975? It's Brendan next.
Ducati?
Ducati, yeah.
Could you just wait till the end of the question?
I Captain.
For the last 30 years of his life, the poet Philip Larkin worked as a librarian in Ashton,
Whole
in
universe.
Hull, yeah.
Boom.
In 2011, a referendum was held in the UK to see if what should be introduced. Chris?
Proportional representation voting.
Can't quite give you that now.
First past.
Steve Lacey?
I'm going to say PR.
No. Jack?
Me?
Yeah.
Alternative vote.
Alternative vote, yeah, different PR. Jack.
Yes.
Sky Hunter, Dark Towers, Badger Girl, Through the Dragon's... Amit?
Stephen King.
Nope, there's nothing away. Through the Dragon's Eye, Brendan?
Look and read.
Yeah, all series of Look and Read, yes. That classic series.
I Captain.
In 1999, this band won the Grammy for the Best New Age Recording with the album Landmarks, having previously been nominated for Banber and Law. Previously, they composed and performed all the music for the TV series Robin of Sherwood.
Glanad.
Glanad, yep.
Well wicked.
Right, next one. Which person is the current owner of the NBA basketball team, the Charlotte Hornets? He is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, a six-time NBA champion. Chris Curtis?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is correct.
Well wicked.
Friction on the court there.
This English woman was beatified by Pope Leo XIII in 1886, and at the age of 67 was beheaded on the orders of Henry VIII, who was... Simon?
Margaret Countess of Salisbury.
Yeah, Marcus Paul, Countess of Salisbury. First appearing in the 1871 book Nonsense Song Stories, Botany and Alphabets, it was written for the 3-year-old daughter of the poet John Addington Symonds. Parts of its unfinished sequel released in 1938. Carl?
Alan the Pussycat.
Yeah, Alan the Pussycat, yeah.
Bingo.
Which 1850 painting by Millet, which is currently located in Tate Britain, was criticised? Andrew?
Bubbles.
That's incorrect, nothing away. Amit?
Real boy.
No. Was criticised by reviewers including Charles Dickens as being blasphemous. Dickens all... no one's gone in there? Right.
Christ the King.
No. Nothing away. So Dickens also stated that Mary, the mother of Jesus, who was modelled on Millet's sister-in-law Mary Hodgkinson, was ugly in the painting. Chris?
Black Madonna.
Nope. Steve Kidd?
Lady Sherlock now.
No. Ashton?
It's not Light of the World, is it?
No.
Robin Hand.
Of course, Christ in the house of his parents. What is the appropriate name of the official fan club of the band The Killers? Amit?
Gillheads.
No. Anyway, Steve Kidd?
Death Squad.
No. Chris Curtis?
Corpses.
No. Steve Lacey?
Victims.
The Victims, yeah.
Loads.
Decent.
Examples include a fatal murder, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and please prepay in advance. What word is used to describe a word which is an unnecessary repetition of meaning? Brendan?
Tautology.
Tautology.
How
yeah.
far behind was I?
Would you have given me
Captain.
pleonasm?
I have no idea what that means. So.
It means tautology.
Well then, yes, I
If you
would.
give them both, you are giving them extra points.
Right, so we've got 6 minutes 33 left. Brendan's on 6. Chris is on 4. On 2 we've got Ashton, Jack, Simon, Steve Kidd and Steve Lacey. Everyone else yet to score. So it's first 8 to go through.
Oh, did Carl got one?
Oh, Carl's got 2, sorry. Let's start again. Europe's 31st biggest island in terms of area, Graham Bell Island, part of the Franz Joseph Archipelago, is owned by which country? Andrew?
Norway.
Nope, nothing away. Simon? Question's over. Russia, yeah.
That's it.
4. As well as a bunch of flowers, kisses from 2 beautiful women and a cuddly toy lion, what does the leader of the most watched annual sporting event?
Yellow jersey.
A yellow jersey, yeah. Let's Chris up to
Well
6.
wicked.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Nicknamed the King of Cities, its name in the Nedzabelli language means smoke arising, as a population of just over 1 million people. Amit?
Reykjavik.
Nope, nothing away. It contained districts called Ascot.
Scots.
I don't know. Cape Town.
No, I think Scott doesn't really play. So we'll have to sort your buzzer out. It contained districts called Ascot, Glencoe, Montrose, the Jungle and Kamalo, and was only found in 1840 by King Lob Hengula after the people's great trek from the Gunu land. Following the first Matabele War of 1893, it was declared a settlement under the rule of the British South Africa Company, and thanks to the presence of Simon,
Harare.
as incorrect. So Simon's going to lose 2 points there.
I don't think that was quite a ballsy bar.
Thanks to the presence of Maxim guns, easily survived the siege during the Second War by tribesmen trying to win it back. The birthplace of Charlene Princess... Is it Gavin?
F King.
No, it's incorrect. Nothing. You haven't got any points. Nothing away. Andrew?
Johannesburg.
No. The birthplace of Charlene, Princess of Monaco, the former girlfriend of Prince Harry Chelsea Davy, Ashton?
Turban.
No. Has Ashton lost point? Yeah, Ashton has 1 away there. Peter Onlove and Heath Streak has been praised for its town planning due to the lack of illegal settlements and corruption in the city, especially compared to the capital of the country, which has been the victim of rampant hyperinflation. Served by Joseph Nkomo International Airport, it contains 2 of the 3 African Test cricket venues outside South Africa. What is this city, the hub of Zimbabwean transport network, and traditionally its industrial centre and the second largest in the country after Harare? Cal? Bulawayo, yep.
Bingo.
Got 4 minutes. Between 1406 and 1625, what were the only 2 names used by monarchs of Scotland? Simon?
James and Mary.
James and Mary is correct.
That's it.
Typically made by whalers, what name is given to the artistic scrollwork? Cal?
Scrimshaw.
Nope, it's incorrect. Ashton?
Scrimshaw.
Scrimshaw, yeah.
Oh.
Nearly 2 away from Carl and 2 to Ashton.
Boom.
First advertised in a 1946 edition of the Boy's Own paper, it was invented that year by Peter Adolph when he adapted a 1929 game created by William Lane Keeling. The original version of this game saw player pieces made of cardboard and a piece of chalk was provided. Jack?
Oh, no, I didn't know. But I did buzz.
I-
But it didn't come up.
That's 1 away then.
I tactically remained silent after I realised it.
Andrew?
No.
Risk.
That's nothing away. Steve Lacey?
Sabia.
Sabutio, yeah. Yeah, just given a chalk and told how to mark out your pitch.
Decent.
What is the full title of the weekly UK publication, which is often abbreviated to TES or Times Ed? Simon?
Times Educational
That's
Supplements.
correct.
That's it.
In 1984, Anne-Marie de Mars became the first American woman to win a gold medal at the World Judo Championships. Who is her daughter, who in 2008 became the first American woman to win an Olympic judo medal? Amit?
Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey. Yeah. Amit up to 2.
Correct London.
I could have had a triple there.
Making news in 2019 for something which last happened in 1991 at Terry Fields. What is the name of the Member of Parliament for Peterborough who was expelled from the Labour Party? Andrew?
Fiona. Okazawa.
No. He was expelled from the Labour Party in December 2018 and in 2019 was sentenced to 3 months in prison for perverting the course of justice for lying to the police about avoiding a speeding ticket. Is it Jack?
Okamanya.
No, nothing to question over. Amit?
Onasanya.
Onasanya.
Oh,
yeah.
well done.
What name is shared by a 1998 sitcom which featured Carl Howman, Samantha Janus and Denise Van Houten? Gavin?
No, I was going to say something else, so...
So it's half of Gavin's points will go. Where is he? No, yeah, you're on nothing, so it's alright. Carl?
Brushstrokes?
That's incorrect.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Ashton?
Babes in the Wood.
Babes in the Wood, yeah. Right, so, so currently going through Simon on 6, Chris on 6, Brendan on 6, Steve Lace, Ashton 5, Steve Lacey 4, Amit's on 4, Steve Kidd on 2. I think going out is, well, we have a tiebreak at the moment because Jack and Carl are on 1, and Andrew, Scott and Gavin on 0. This group were the favourites to win the Brit Award for Best Newcomers in 1999, but lost out controversially to Bell and Sebastian. Steve Kidd? Steps, yeah. Britain's greatest ever band.
Scott's my favourite band.
If this volcano were to erupt, it would threaten the entire Puliap. Andrew?
Etna.
That's incorrect. It would threaten the entire Puliap River Valley, and it is circumnavigated by the 93-metre long Wonderland Trail. What is this mountain, the highest in the Cascade Range, located 59 miles from Seattle? It's the highest... Scott?
No.
Nothing away. It's the highest in Washington State. And
Hang on.
Carl?
Mount Rainier.
Rainier, yep. It's Carl up the 3.
Bingo.
Located 40 miles west of Munich and still used to this day. Before sentenced to death at the second Nuremberg trial. Yeah, Andrew?
No.
No, nothing away. Second Nuremberg trial, known as the Doctors' Trial, were executed here in 1948. But what is this correctional facility, which is best known as the place where for 200 and... Let's go.
Dachau.
That is incorrect. That's going to be...
I've got to put him on blank.
Yeah. We're going to have one more question after this. Gavin?
Spandau?
No. It's a place where for 264 days in 1924, before his early release after being found guilty of treason, was Scott? Landsberg, yeah. Let's put Scott up for 2.
Affirmative.
So you've got one question
Nice,
to
2
go.
points, Scott.
So currently through Brendan 6, Simon 6, Chris 6, Ashton 5, Steve and Amit on 4, Scott on 2. I think that's it. Is that everyone? Yeah, I think that's everyone. And Jack's on 1, Carl's on 1.5, and Andrew and Gavin on 0.
Reset, please.
Reset.
And this is the last question.
This will be the last question, yeah. Made into a 1985 film starring Oliver Reed, which novel by Robert Louis Stevenson has Richard Shelton as its main protagonist? Shelton is knighted by Jack.
Black Arrow.
The Black Arrow is correct.
Oh.
Good answer. And that'll put you through, Jack.
Hey.
Going out is going to be Andrew and Gavin on 0, Carl on 1.5 and Scott on 2. Everyone else is through.
I still think I'll cut.
Scott was, yeah, you beat Scott by 3/10. So that was
Well played. Good. And also,
okay, round 2, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 round. It's a 6-point clue, you buzz in, you get 6 points, but if you get it wrong, -6. 12 questions, top 4 go through. Right, question 1 for 6 points. One of the earliest surviving quilts in the world, which is known as the Gucciardini quilt, and was made in Sicily in the 14th century, depicts this story. The story is also referenced in the Bernard Cornwell novel Enemy of God and in James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake. For 5 points. Whilst there are many different interpretations and variations of the story, the common themes are for a love potion resulting in a love triangle and the death of the 2 main characters. 4 points. A 2006 film version of the story was directed by Kevin Reynolds, produced by Tony Ridley Scott, and has Rufus Sewell, Sophia Myles and James Franco in the 3 main roles. For 3 points. Premiered in 1865, an operatic version of this story by Richard Wagner is considered one of the most influential pieces of music of all time. For 2 points, The story is set mainly in Ireland and Cornwall, and what... Yeah, Simon, hasn't come up with your name,
Hasn't come
man.
up.
Well, Tristan and Isolde.
Tristan and Isolde, yeah, so just type in.
Okay.
Right, question 2 for 6 points. This concept shares its name with the 8th live album by the progressive death metal band Dream Theater, which was recorded at the Boston Opera House in 2014. 5 points. The concept is usually attributed to theatre critic and dramatist Denis Diderot, and the term for it attributed to Molière. Its earliest use in film is Mary MacLane's 1980 film Men Who Have Made Love to Me. 4 points. The computer games Max Payne, Eternal Darkness, and the Stanley Parable make use of this concept. For 3 points. TV characters who regularly carry out this concept are Mrs. Brown in Mrs. Brown's Boys. Chris?
Breaking the fourth wall.
Breaking the Fourth Wall is correct.
Deadpool. We've got Deadpool in there.
Yeah, he's unsurprisingly further down the list of players.
Fleabag.
That was 3, right?
I haven't got Fleabag in there.
Michael, break the fourth wall. Look at the camera.
That was for 3 points.
Got no strike.
Question 3 for 6 points. The band Telltale recorded the theme music for this TV show and also performed on it for the first 2 series. By the 3rd series they were replaced by the trio Charlie, Carl and Julian. For 5 points. When the show debuted it featured a sheepdog called Dusty and 2 characters called Sunshine and Mooney. Later in its run it introduced a neighbour called Dawn. The cousin of one of the main characters was a show regular. He was originally an eloquent Frenchman, but in later series became an American rapper. The first main presenter of the show was David Cook. For 4 points. During the show's run, 2 of the main characters were played by the people who provided the voices for the Daleks and K9 in Doctor Who. For 3 points. Whilst one of the main characters is naked most of the time, he wears pyjamas in bed and swimming trunks while... Brendan?
It's Rainbow.
Rainbow, yeah.
Also, that's from 6.
So that's going to be 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
moved again.
Question 4 for 6 points. Although this 1944 action was ordered by Adolf Hitler, blame was originally placed on Field Marshal Wilhelm Keitel, whilst Hermann Goering was successful in getting Hitler to make this action less punitive than Hitler originally wanted. 5 points, so
Shooting the escapees after the Great Escape.
that is right for 6 points.
Wow.
Question 5, 6 points. A New Zealand band named after this brand had UK top 40 singles in 2002 with In Love and Harmonic Generator. For 5 points. The origin of the name of this brand is the names of the designers of a car first built in 1914. The names of these people were Kenjiro Den, Rokoro Iyama and Matori Takuchi. For 4 points. The brand was founded in 1931, discontinued in 1986 and then relaunched in 2013. The Ondo make sold under this brand is based on the Lada Granta. 3 points. Other models of car using this brand are the Midu, the Ready Go, the Go and the Cross. The brand was relaunched as a low-cost brand and its vehicles are currently built in India and sold to Kazakhstan, Indonesia, South Africa and Russia. Chris?
Tata.
That's incorrect, -3. Putting you back down to 0. 2 points. The classic logo of this brand is based on a Japanese flag with a blue band across the red rising sun. The brand was acquired by Nissan in 1934, who continue to own it to this day. For 1 point, what is the name of this Japanese car brand with the original manufacturers of the Cherry model of cars? Ashton?
Datsun.
Datsun is correct for 1 point.
Could be useful.
Should have been in for 2 on the colours.
For 6 points, question 6. This man was drafted 281st place in the 1991 NFL draft by the Los Angeles Rams. He would go on to play for them and then for San Diego Chargers and the Washington Redskins before retiring in 1997. 5 points. In 1999 he appeared in the Gladiator-style show Battle Dome, playing the character T-Money. For 4 points. Between 2014 and 15 he replaced Cedric the Entertainer as the host of the American version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and was himself replaced by Chris Harrison. For 3 points, his film roles include Bedlam in Deadpool 2, President Camacho in Idiocracy, and Cheeseburger Eddie in The Longest Yard. For 2 points, is this still for free, Jack?
Cruise.
Yeah, Terry Crews, yeah,
Terry
3
Crews.
points.
See his face.
So we're halfway through, currently going through. Simon on 8, Brendan on 3, Jack on 3, Ashton on 1, everyone else 0. Question 7 for 6. For 6 points. This person died of AIDS in 1992, which he contracted in 1983 from an infected blood transfusion whilst undergoing triple heart bypass surgery. This was only disclosed 10 years after his death in an updated version of his autobiography, It's Been a Good Life. And at the time of his death, his family didn't want it to overshadow Arthur Ashe's announcement of his HIV.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Steve?
Rockleton.
No. -6. Didn't want it to overshadow Arthur Ashe's announcement of his HIV status. For 5 points, he was a vice president of Mensa International, a president of the American Humanist Society, was a creator on Mars and an asteroid named after him, and was a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. He wrote the Lucky Star series of novels under the pseudonym Paul French. Carl?
Sorry, didn't know on.
Yeah, what are you doing in it?
Showing off from the wings.
Amit?
Asimov.
Isaac Asimov, yeah, 5 points.
No.
Right, question 8 for 6 points. The original version of this game was created by Milton Bradley in 1860, and it is thought of as America's first parlour game. The best known modern version, which is still produced to this day, was created by Bill Markham and Reuben Clammer in 1960. The modern version was inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame in 2010. 5 points. In 2002, a Star Wars version of the game was created called Steve Kidd.
Gotta go for Monopoly.
That is incorrect for -5. A Star Wars version called A Jedi's Path. For 4 points. A 2018 version of the game allowed you to have pets for the first time, who are represented by a pink paw print. Active.
Game of Life.
The Game of Life is correct for 4 points.
What I was going for there as well.
4 questions to go. Question 9. 6 points. Fossils of this animal were first discovered by Danish naturalist Peter Wilhelm Lund in Calcanus Caves near the village of Lagoa Santo in Brazil in 1839, shortly after he discovered a type of hyena which he dubbed the New World hyena. For 5 points. The animals were found all over found all over North and South America, and thousands of examples have been found in the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. They weighed between 200 to 400 kilograms and were around 120 centimeters in height. An extinct animal called the Metallurian is also named a false one of these animals. 4 points. It is thought that this animal killed by holding its prey down and biting down on their jugular veins, or possibly the belly of its victims. It is estimated that this animal could... Chris? Saber-toothed tiger, 4 points.
The tar pits.
How many questions left?
3 questions to go. Amit's on 5, Ashton's on 5, Simon's on 8, Chris on 4 of the qualifiers, Brendan and Jack on 3,
Enough already.
Steve Lacey on 0, and somebody else on some points. Question 10. 6 points. Due to him voting for the execution of Louis XVI and participating in the death of Louis XVII, this person exiled himself from France during the Bourbon Restoration, despite receiving a pardon from Louis XVIII. He first went to Brussels, where he was an influence to Francois Joseph Naves and Ignace Bryce, and went to the Netherlands, where he died in 1825. 5 points. He died when, after leaving a theatre, he was struck by a carriage. His last great work is considered to be Mars being disarmed by Venus and the Three Graces. And on its completion, he vowed to put the date of his 75th birthday on it, and to never pick up a paintbrush again. 4 points. He had noted facial abnormalities, which caused him to have difficulties in eating and speaking, and particularly saying the letter R. This was traditionally attributed to a wound picked up in a fencing incident. However, it is now thought this could have been due to a benign tumour. Amit?
Many.
That's incorrect for -4. 3 points. a one-time supporter of Robespierre's Jacobin faction during the French Revolution. Due to the large number of pupils he is considered to be the strongest influence on French art in the early 19th century. His works include the paintings The Death of Socrates, The Oath of the Tennis Court, The Intervention of the Sabine Women, and The Oath of Versailles. For 2 points, an admirer of Napoleon Bonaparte. After Napoleon crowned himself emperor, it's Brendan. David for 2 points. Currently through, Simon on 8, Ashton, Brendan on 5, Chris on 4, Jack on 3, Amit 1, Steve Lacey on 0, and Steve Kidd on -11 going out. Question 11 for 6 points.
Reset, please.
This football team was founded in 1878 in the Wellington Arms Public House in the town this team is named after, and originally had Pelham in its name from the family name of the Earls of Yarborough. Simon?
Grimsby Town.
Grimsby Town is correct.
Foolish boy.
So that puts Simon up to 14.
So is this the last question?
Yeah, last question.
The scores again, so.
Simon 14, Ashton 5, Brendan 5, Chris 4 for your current people going through. Jack 3, Amit 1, Steve Lacey 0, Steve Kidd -11 are currently going out. Question 12, 6 points. Born in Islington in 1951, this person was granted US citizenship in 1999, and in 1990 presented a series of programmes about British holiday resorts called Day Out With. For 5 points. In 1997, they came third to Mary McAleese in the Irish presidential election. 4 points. In 1979, they wrote and recorded the song Totus Tuus, which was inspired by Pope John Paul II's visit to Ireland. And at the 6th World Youth Day in 1982, we were invited to sing their composition We Are Only One Body. In 1970, Brendan? Dana is correct.
Thank you. That's very nice of you, brother.
4 points, yeah.
Glad you did that.
So our qualifiers, Simon 14, Brendan 9, Ashton 5, Chris 4. Okay, round 3, we're all familiar with the rules, aren't we? The last answer on the last quiz was Scarlet. Question 1. If 6 people are playing a game of Cluedo, the person playing Miss Scarlet would go first. Which character would go fourth? The question, Chris.
Colonel Mustard.
That's incorrect. Ashton. That's incorrect. Brendan.
Professor Plant.
That's incorrect. Simon.
Reverend Green.
Reverend Green is correct. Yeah, that should do it. I think. An exact answer required. From 1967, Lorne Green lived in a house which had what name? It was a replica and named after the ranch Ben Cartwright owned in Bonanza. Question over. Brendan?
Ponderosa?
That's incorrect. Chris?
Ponderosa Ranch.
That's incorrect. Ashton?
Ponderosa West.
That's incorrect.
The High Chaparral.
No, it's Ponderosa 2.
Oh,
Yeah, because Ponderosa is the first of its name.
absolutely, yeah. Leopold.
Yeah, exactly.
Leopold Rosa.
King Ponderosa the Good.
How's this rule that you made up this morning now become accepted wisdom?
Yeah.
The word ranch is often used in the state of Nevada as a name for a legalised version of establishment, which are usually illegal in most places in the world. Ashton?
Brothels.
Brothels is correct.
Correctamundo.
Dovedale by Moonlight is a work by this artist who was described as the first professional painter to express the spirit of the Industrial Revolution. He comes from a city in the East Midlands. Ashton?
Joseph Wright Derby.
Joseph Wright of Derby is correct.
Correctamundo.
Is he like Tom of Fiddler?
Yeah,
Very similar.
the material was a little bit different, but yes. Yeah. Might see where he comes from.
Who was the second?
The winner of the Tour of Britain in 1992 and now a director sportif of BMC Racing Team. This person was born in Derby in 1967. Ashton?
Brailsford.
That's 108, one life away.
Loser.
Who was a cyclist who had initially competed for Italy due to being of Italian descent, but switched allegiance back to the UK in 1995? Simon?
Max Sciandri.
Yeah, Max Sciandri, yep.
Yes.
He also has the DJ alter ego Mac DJ. But what is the stage name used when performing as a musician of the person who created the TV series Atlanta? He also appeared as Lando Calrissian in Solo: A Star Wars Story. Brendan?
Oh, that's evil. It's not Billy D. Williams then.
Nope. Life of It. And has the real name Donald Glover. Ashton? Childish Gambino, yeah. Ashton up to 3.
Correct Amundu.
So in office from 913 to 914, Pope Lando does not currently have a number after his regal name. He was the only Pope since to also not have a number after his title. Brendan?
Francis.
Pope Francis, yeah.
Absolutely.
In 1626, the scientist and statesman Sir Francis Bacon died from what disease? He reputedly contracted it while studying the effects of using freezing to preserve meat. Chris?
Pneumonia?
Pneumonia, yeah.
Affirmative.
The Baconian theory is a conspiracy theory which suggests that Sir Francis Bacon, Brendan?
Wrote the plays of Shakespeare.
Yeah, wrote the plays of Shakespeare.
Absolutely.
Shakespeare was born and died on what saint's day?
Oh.
Simon?
George.
George, yep.
Yes.
No, just George.
Sacked early in the 2017-2018 football season, Craig Shakespeare became the first English manager to win his first 5 games in charge as a Premier League team. Simon?
Leicester City.
Leicester City,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simon's up to 4. Derived from the seeds of the ashoti tree and identified by the EU with the number E160B, what is the name of the condiment and food additive which is used to provide an orange colour to food such as red Leicester cheese? Chris?
Tamarind?
It's incorrect. Nothing away. Question over. Simon?
Cumin.
No.
Anito.
Yeah, Anato. Yeah. In 1972, there were only 68 Gloucestershire breed heifers in the world. There are now around 450. The increase is mainly due to the works of Charles Martel, who started to produce which now highly popular cheese to promote the interest in the Gloucester breed. In the film Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit,
Double Gloucester.
it's incorrect. There's one other life away. One life left. No.
Loser.
The cheese is used to revive Wallace from the dead.
Stinking Bishop.
Stinking Bishop. Yeah.
Affirmative.
The House of Martel is one of the oldest producers of what alcoholic drink? Chris?
Brandy.
Yeah, brandy or cognac, yep.
Affirmative.
No one buzzed in on a Game of Thrones prompt there. Unlike the rest of the Seven Kingdoms in the Song of Ice and Fire novels by George R.R. Martin, who are all led by lords, the leaders of House Martel, due to not being conquered by the Targaryens, hold what alternative title as rulers of the Kingdoms of Dawn? The only real-life heads of state to use this title are Emmanuel Macron, Joan Enric Vivas Cilia, Hans Adam II of Liechtenstein, and Albert II of Monaco. Chris?
Crown Prince.
Prince, yeah. So Macron's the Prince of Andorra.
Affirmative.
Atomic Party.
A co-winner of the Copley Prize with Michael Faraday in 1838, amongst the many things named after this person are a law giving the relationship between flux through a closed surface and the enclosed source, an algebraic elimination, also known as row deduction, a weapon which involves a type of projectile accelerator consisting of one or more coils which act as an electromagnet, which accelerate a projectile to high velocity. The weapon is also known as a coil gun. An alternative name for normal distribution, the most common bell curve in statistics. This person proved Descartes' rule of signs and Kepler's conjecture for regular arrangements. Who is this person, significant for his contributions to astronomy, algebra, matrix theory, differential geometry and magnetic fields, who was known as the Prince of Mathematicians? Chris?
Kepler.
That's incorrect. Question over. So, Ashton?
Napier.
No. No. It's Carl Friedrich Gauss.
Gauss.
Never had so much question.
I thought Gauss mentioned
wrote that one.
right at the end. It's in the accountant.
One of the most prestigious awards in science, the Copley Prize, is awarded by which organisation, whose current president is Venki Ramachandran? It's Ashton?
Royal Society.
Royal Society, yeah.
Correct, Amandu.
Ashton on 4, Simon on 4, Chris on 4 and Brendan on 2.
Huh?
The 450 islands of the Isle Royal National Park can be found in which of Canada's Great Lakes? Simon?
Only two.
That's incorrect. Nothing away. Chris?
Superior.
Superior, yeah.
Affirmative.
Mother Superior is the nickname of Johnny Swan, a drug dealer who eventually loses his legs due to heroin. Ashton?
Transpotting.
Yeah, it's in Train Spotting. Yeah.
Correct, Amandu.
A noted rail fan, this person co-founded Dunrail Incorporated, a railroad corporation based in South Dakota. In 1995 they purchased a patent for an oil separation machine. These machines were of little commercial interest until BP purchased a number after the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, earning this person millions of dollars. The only winner of 3 Worst Actor Razzies during the 1990s, he played a baseball player in 4 films, a golfer in 1, and the historical figures Devil Anse Hatfield, Jim Garrison, Wyatt Earp and Elliot Ness, and the legendary figure Ashton?
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, yep.
I've got Kevin, I couldn't think of his poxy.
That puts
sort of
Ashton up to
Correct,
6, but he's only got
Amandu.
he's on his last life, though.
Yeah.
Leading to accusations that it was a fix. Who did Wyatt Earp disqualify for a low blow, which apparently no one else saw when he was refereeing a match for the World Heavyweight Boxing title? As a result, his opponent Tom Sharkey was awarded the vacant title. This man, known as the Freckle Wonder, would later beat James J. Corbett for the title, becoming the first British person to win it. No other Brit would hold the title till Lennox Lewis 90 years later. Chris?
Sullivan.
That's incorrect, nothing away. Simon?
Fitzsimmons.
Fitzsimmons, yeah.
Yes.
In 2006, who was disqualified post-competition after winning Miss Great Britain? Who were disqualified after claims in the press about their personal life and for appearing on the Playboy website. After her disqualification, she appeared on Celebrity Big Brother, where she received negative publicity along with Jade Goody and Joe O'Meara for their treatment of Shilpa Shetty. She has also won a glamour model special of Weakest Link and married and divorced the footballer Jamie O'Hara. Ashton?
Lloyd.
Yeah, Danielle Lloyd, yeah.
That question's got the
Correct,
stamp of
Amandu.
McPartland, hasn't it?
Until 2017, Venezuela held the sole record for having the most winners of Miss World. However, in that year, which country joined them as the most successful nation with their 6th win? Brendan?
Philippines.
Incorrect, nothing away. Chris?
Puerto Rico.
No. Ashton?
Mexico.
No. Simon?
Sweden.
Is it India?
It's India, yeah.
I should be in this final so much.
Tracing their history back through 24 victorious saviours, the last of whom was Mahavira, who was born around 500 BC, and the first of whom was Rishabhanatha, who apparently lived millions of years ago. The name of this religion derives from a Sanskrit word meaning victory, and its main premises are non-violence, many-sidedness, non-attachment, and abstinence from sensual pleasures. Its most important festival is called Paryushana, and is a time to take vows on studying and fasting. What is the world religion which has around 5 million followers? Most of them live in India, and has a name which suggests its followers could be fans of the actress who won Oscars for Coming Home. Simon?
Jainism.
Jainism, yeah.
Please tell me you're going to quizzing.co.uk on that one.
Sorry.
A lady in waiting for Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves and Catherine Howard. Which person was beheaded in 1542 for a role in helping Catherine Howard carry out her clandestine affair with Thomas Culpeper? She had earlier played a key role in providing evidence for the prosecution, which saw the conviction and execution of her husband and sister-in-law for high treason after they were accused of having sex with each other. Her sister-in-law was the first Marquess of Pembroke, making her the first woman to be given hereditary peerage, who was also the second wife of King Henry VIII.
No, Anne Boleyn.
Well, Boleyn. I wasn't asking for Anne Boleyn, but I sort of, yeah, it was badly written, the last bit. It was Jane Boleyn, but Boleyn's fine. Yeah.
Affirmative.
We got a score.
Yeah, Ashton 7, but with on his last life. Simon's on 6, Chris is on 6, both have 3 lives. Brendan's on 2 with 2
Come on,
lives to go.
Brendan.
England's only ever full international match at West Ham's Boleyn ground was a 3-1 defeat against Australia.
Oh no. Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney is correct. Made his debut age 17 against Australia.
With 1 life left.
It's density.
Cool. Rooney Mara's only nomination for a Best Actress Academy Award came in 2011 for a role in which film?
What year?
2011. Nobody?
Go
Yeah.
with the dragon.
Yeah, Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Yep. On checks of German prisoners of war after World War II, a tattoo of what on the underside of the left arm was used as prima facie evidence that a prisoner was a member of the Waffen-SS? Simon?
A blood group.
The blood group, yep. Simon up to 7.
Yes.
Of the 8 different blood groups a person can... Oh, sorry. Of the 8 different blood groups a person can have, which is the only one that can donate blood to people of any other... It's Brendan.
Oh.
Positive.
Incorrect. 1 life away. Chris?
Oh, negative.
Or negative, yeah.
Bollocks.
Chris lost a life and Brendan. Yeah, sorry, Brendan lost a life and Chris got the point, yeah.
I've got, yeah,
Yeah, so Chris up to 7.
Affirmative.
Captain, accentuate the positive.
Sorry.
Steve, was there a pint coming my way? I think is it?
Huh?
Was there a pint coming my way?
Yeah, there's definitely a pint over there. I'll get it for you.
Yeah, cheers.
Can you just get on with the quiz, please?
Can I reset, please?
Right. Okay. Other than oxygen and osmium, what is the only other element which has a chemical symbol that starts with the letter O? Simon?
Organism.
Organescent. Cheers, Steve.
Jeez, that's a good one to get.
Yes.
Simon up to 8. The chemical element magnesium is named after an area of which country? Chris?
Germany.
It's incorrect. Nothing away. Ashton?
Russia.
Nope. Simon?
France.
Nope. Brendan?
Sweden.
Nope. It's Greece. Yep. Magnesia.
Yeah, because magnesia.
In the classic, sorry, in the classic musical Grease 2. In the classic musical Grease 2, while singing the song Score Tonight, the cast are participating in which sport? The sport was part of the 1998 Commonwealth Games, and professionals in it include Kelly Kulik, Kyle Troop and Tim Mack. What is this sport which has a biannual Ryder Cup style competition called the Weber Cup? Chris?
Pool?
It's incorrect, nothing away. Ashton?
I was going to say pool. Rollerball.
Sorry?
No, it's not
No,
rollerball,
no.
doesn't matter.
Anyone?
Tin ball.
Temping bowling, yep.
Ah, yeah,
Yes, of course it is.
Which 1972 play by Neil Simon is reportedly based upon the careers of either the comedy duos of Webber and Fields? Chris?
The Odd Couple.
That is incorrect. Michael Wade. The comedy duos of Webber and Fields or Smith and Dale. A 2012 stage version saw the West End debut of Danny DeVito, whilst a 1996 TV movie version starred Woody Allen and Peter Falk. The 1975 film saw the only ever Best Supporting Actor Oscar win for George Burns. Ashton?
Barefoot in the Park.
No. No.
Is it Lost in Yonkers?
It's the Sunshine Boys.
Yeah, we should have known that from George Burns.
The disco band Sunshine recorded a #1 hit on the US Hot Dance Chart in 1978 with the song Take It to the Zoo. All of its members were the sister of which performer known as the Queen of Disco? She died in 2012.
Donna Summer.
Donna Summer, yep. Chris is up to 8.
Affirmative.
Ashton, Simon and Chris all on 8. Brendan's on 2. Taking place respectively in 1985 and 88, the first time they were held, WWE's 2 biggest events of the year, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, both took place in which iconic American sporting arena? Chris?
Madison Square Gardens.
Madison Square Gardens is correct.
Wrestling.
Affirmative.
Good knowledge of
Iconic
wrestling.
sporting arena.
James Madison is officially the 5th US Secretary of State. Although John Jay held the role in an acting capacity at first, he was officially the 1st Secretary of State. Whilst Madison held the role, he served this person whilst they were President. Simon?
John Adams.
It's incorrect, nothing away. Ashton?
John Quincy Adams.
Nope. Brendan?
Jefferson.
Jefferson is correct.
Treasury or state?
Absolutely.
Come on.
At 95, surprisingly, Henry Kissinger isn't currently the oldest living former US Secretary of State. Which person now aged 98 who held the position from 82 to 89? Brendan?
George Shultz.
George Shultz, yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
The clumsy, affable and dim-witted Sergeant Hans Schultz was a character in which American comedy series that ran from 65 to 71. The series was set in a prisoner of war camp, Luftstalag 13, which was commanded by Colonel Wilhelm Klink. Simon?
Kelly's Heroes.
That's incorrect. Anyone else?
In the audience, please.
Organ's Heroes, yeah.
Wrong hero.
What is the current name of the body of water which in Greek mythology Leander would swim across every night to meet? Simon?
Hellespont.
That's incorrect.
Stupid woman.
Would swim across every night to meet his lover Hero. In their time it was known as the Hellespont. Ashton?
Phosphorus.
It's incorrect. Nothing away. Brendan?
Dardanelles.
The Dardanelles.
Thanks for saying the Bosphorus, though.
Absolutely.
That's an Oxbow Laker, is that one?
No, I did say at the start what's the current name.
You did, yeah.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
it's a current.
No. No.
Going down.
The Dardanelles link the Aegean Sea with which other sea? Ashton?
Black Sea.
That is incorrect. That's away.
Loser.
Ashton is eliminated. Brendan will be eliminated if he gets this
I
wrong.
can tell you now.
So no, the Sea of... Oh, my man's got, I've no idea.
No, it's Brendan out of there. Who's next? Simon's in.
Incorrect.
Marmara.
Sea of Marmara. Yeah, just Simon and Chris. Both on 9 points. Both have 2 lives left. Okay. Which country has the international vehicle registration code MA? Simon?
Morocco.
Morocco is correct.
Yes.
Which foodstuff, a staple in Morocco and most of North Africa, is made up of steamed balls? Chris?
Couscous.
Couscous, yep. Steamed balls of durum wheat.
Please don't
Affirmative.
10 all, 2 lives left each. The couscous is a common name given to a species of animal which is part of which genus? Marsupials native to New Guinea and Australia there are in the suborder Phalangiformis and they got their name due to their resemblance to the largest order of marsupials found in the Western Hemisphere. The broadcasting legend Dame Edna Everage used this name as a pet name. Chris?
Possum.
Possum, yeah.
Affirmative.
In 1925, the 13-year-old Frank Neuhauser got to meet President Calvin Coolidge when he correctly knew how to spell the name of Edna Everage's favourite plant, the gladiolus. In doing so, he became the first winner of which still... Chris?
National Spelling
The
Bee.
National Spelling Bee for the win.
Yay! So I think earlier on, Chris, basically you were so good in the first round of that. I know nobody can see me, but you can see Michael McPartland. That's what much better looking than me. The first round it was very, very comfortable for you. Did you have any trouble in the second round at all?
I was very pleased that my little brother came in on the last question and saved me from having to make a difficult decision.
So I think for the first time in 2 or 3 years, you've had a reasonably stress-free passage into the final at an early stage as well.
Yeah,
and when you look at,
I'm 10 or 11.
yeah, when you look at Dave Hesper being in, when you look at Colin Daffin being in, there are going to be even every year it gets to the stage that there's more and more good players if you include me, who actually won't make the final. Basically, it must be really nice to get under your belt. I hope you're going to set a Q12 for us maybe in the next couple of months. So, thank you. I think Mike's questions were absolutely on the money. I think a mark of the quality of what we can see is there's a lot of people sitting behind Michael over there who they might want to kind of photobomb his camera. But I would love to enter University Challenge with any 4 of the people who didn't make the final there, let alone won it. So the top of a broad-based pyramid. Thank you, Michael. Well done, Chris. Unlucky Simon. Yay!